Good morning, students. Today we are going to start a new chapter from the portion of your history, that is the revolt of 1857. Now, with the rule of the Britishers, there were many revolts which took place against them so that the people could gain their right. Among them, one of the most important and the most popular revolt is the revolt of 1857. Now let us see. By 1856, EIC acquired most of the Indian subcontinent. So by the year of 1856, nearly most of the Indian subcontinent was under the rule of EEIC, that is English East India Company. Various sections were badly affected due to the oppressive policies of the British. Of the British was very oppressive, due to which many sections of the society was affected. During the first half of the 19th century, a revolt broke out, but failed as it was confined to one region. So, due to the oppressive policy of the British, the peoples were badly affected, and they started revolting from the first half of the 19th century. But they failed. Why they failed? They failed. The main reason for their failing is that the revolt was only confined to one region. Means the revolt took place only to one or any particular region, not as a whole in the country. Now, in the previous chapter, we have studied that many tribal revolts took place against the British. Likewise, there were many such revolts that started throughout India by the various sections of the societies, like the rulers, zamindars, soldiers, and common men, which is known as revolt of 1857. So, like the revolt of the tribals, the revolt started from the various sections of the societies, from the all sections of the societies, like the rulers, zamindars, soldiers, and common man. And this revolt is known as the revolt of 1857. Now, when does the revolt occur? So let us see when the revolt of 1857 started. When the people could no longer resist a British policy, they started revolt. So, as we know, that British started many oppressive policies on the people, so that the people were very badly affected by this oppressive policy of the Britishers. So, as the people could no longer resist this oppressive policy of the British, so they started to revolt. For successful revolt, they needed a good leader who could unite them and guide them. So it was not easy for people to revolt against the British. For a successful revolt, they needed a leader who could unite them and guide them for the revolt, so that they could come to an idea that how they could revolt or where should they revolt from. Further, they needed strong ideological base which has popular appeal. Further, the people also needed an ideological base, a base which could have an idea or a good ideology, so that, and it should also have a popular appeal, so that it could attract the mass and they can revolt against the British. Now, let us see what were the causes of the revolt of 1857. As we know that British had the various oppressive policy, so the revolt started. The cause of the revolt was many, like it was the political cause, economic cause, socio-religious cause, and the military cause. So the revolt of 1857 started on these various causes, like the political, economical, socio-religious, and the military base. So these were the main causes on which the revolt of 1857 started. Now, let us see about the political causes which created discontentment among the Indian rulers. So the political cause is that it was the cause which created discontentment among the Indian rulers. Means the Indian rulers were not very satisfied. They were against the rules, against the policies of the Britishers. They were not happy with the policies of the Britishers, that they interfered in the political cause. Now let us see what were the political cause. The first is British policies like subsidiary alliance, doctrine of lapse created unrest among the Indian rulers, which deprived them of their power and status. So one of the political cause is that the Britishers introduced the policy of subsidiary alliance and the doctrine of lapse, under which they started acquiring the kingdom, which created the unrest among the Indian rulers, and it even deprived them of their old powers. Like earlier, the king or the rulers who do not have their natural heir, they could get or they could adopt any boy, child, and they could make him his next king, his successor. But the doctrine of lapse, it was up to the will of the British whether they allowed them to adopt a son or not. So this was the major cause that affected or due to which the Indian rulers were in unrest. The second point is annexation of Awadh in 1856 on the ground of misadministration, which hurt the sepoys' sentiment, and the excuse of mismanagement by Nawab did not give any relief to the British. So the next major cause was the annexation of Awadh in 1856 by the Britishers from the Nawab of Awadh on the ground of misadministration. Means the British gave the cause that due to the misadministration of the Nawab of Awadh, they annexed the Awadh, which created the discontentment among the sepoys of the Britishers, though in which the most of them were from the Awadh. Further, they gave the excuse of mismanagement by the Nawab to create rest among the people, peace among the people, but this event did not give the British any relief. Now, people had to pay more tax, and people in administration and army were removed. Further, under the British rule, the people had to pay more taxes, and further the people who were in the administrative job and in the army job, they were all thrown out of their jobs. Next is Talukdas lost land, merchants, shopkeepers, craftsmen, artists of the court lost the livelihood. Further, in Awadh, the Talukdas, they lost their land. Their land was acquired by the British. Further, the merchants, shopkeeper, craftsmen, artists, and musician of the court, they lost their livelihood as they were removed from the court of Awadh. From 1848 to 1854, many kingdoms were annexed under the doctrine of lapse, like Jhansi, Satara, and Nagpur. So, between 1848 to 1854, many kingdoms of like Jhansi, Satara, Nagpur were annexed under the doctrine of lapse, as the British did not allow them to adopt a heir as they did, adopt a son as they did not have their natural heir. Next is Nawab lost titles and Nana Sahib adopted son Peshwa Baji Rao II was denied pension. So the Nana Sahib was denied of his title. His title was snatched by the British, and his adopted son, that is Peshwa Baji Rao II, he was denied of the pension by the British, and he was forced to live in Kanpur. Next is feeling of Muslim and common men was hurt as names of their leaders were removed. Further, the feeling of the common men and the Muslim was greatly hurt by the British, as the name of their leaders were removed from the famous buildings, and even their rulers were evacuated from the Red Fort. Now, British did not allow Bahadur Shah's second successor to be crowned. Further, the British declared Bahadur Shah as the last leader of the Mughals, and they did not allow Bahadur Shah's successor, his son, to be crowned. So these are the main political causes which created discontentment among the Indian rulers, and they revolted in 1857. Now tomorrow we will begin from the economic cause of the revolt of 1857. Thank you.